As many of you know, legitimate GTA 6 footage was leaked in September last year with around 100 videos of gameplay. That has to be one of the worst leaks in gaming history. The guy who leaked the gameplay tried to make a deal with Rockstar, but no demands were made publicly, but that didn't stop the leaker from threatening to leak even more gameplay if Rockstar didn't comply with him. The crazy part of all of this is the hacker was allegedly just a 17-year-old young man from London, who was arrested on September 22nd, who was already known to be involved in attacks on Uber, Microsoft, and Nvidia in the past. Rockstar has made pretty big efforts since then to remove all the leaked footage from the internet, so if you go looking for these leaked videos, you'll have a very hard time finding them. Now, what kind of PC specs are most likely needed to run GTA 6 smoothly? Well, it's not the easiest question to answer, but we can make a pretty well educated guess. First, let's look at the recommended specs for GTA 5. We can see Rockstar recommends an i5-3470 and the GTX 660. Both these pieces of hardware were released in 2012 while GTA 5 was released in 2013, and they're both mid-range parts. Based on this information, we can assume that GTA 6 will most likely run fine on a mid-range PC, especially if it's a PC built in a span of 1 year prior to GTA 6's release, in which there are many theories that GTA 6 is most likely to be released in 2024. Another reason for thinking a mid-range PC should be fine is that we can see Rockstar's Red Dead Redemption 2 also recommended mid-range parts. As you can see, the GTX 1060 is recommended, but it's from 2016, and the i7-4770K is a high-end part, but it's from 2013, which would make it more comparable to a mid-range CPU in 2018, which is the same year Red Dead Redemption 2 was released. But there is a small issue with the recommended specs. Game developers have made a habit of misleading the recommended specs for their games. As an example, Cyberpunk 2077 only recommends a GTX 1060, and all I can say is if you try to run Cyberpunk 2077 with a GTX 1060, you're not going to have a good time. In my opinion, you'll probably need at least one tier higher CPU and graphics card than what's recommended to have a genuinely smooth gameplay. As an example, if a developer recommends a GTX 1050 and an i5-8400 for their game, and that developer has developed a AAA title, yeah, I'll probably need a GTX 1060 and an i5-8600K to run that game perfectly smooth at high settings. We also need to keep in mind GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 were developed to run on the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, which is all previous gen hardware, while GTA 6 is being developed for the newest current gen hardware, which for consoles like the PS5 and Xbox Series X, we're talking about a generation that came out in 2020. So, I spent a few days doing research and I spoke to a freelance game developer, and I got a couple opinions from a few people I know that are kinda in that sort of space, and here are the recommended specs that we kind of came up with. These are the specs that I believe Rockstar are very likely to release, assuming a 2024 release. It's of course not a sure thing, but it's as good of an educated guess as I can make after lots of research and speaking to people in the game developing space.